Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know. First question you're gonna ask me, where have I been? My laptop broke, my phone would not upload any video, it kept on saying upload cancelled, and it was just a wild ride, so I had to take a pause. But my laptop is fixed now and we are back again with some original content. We are back with another bang. So, and let me say in that pause or holiday, I would call it, I actually figured out that, okay, I have to create original content and I also have to change some few things in my life. Well, mostly this revolved around my routine. So this is when I discovered that, how about my first video, back again, I would talk about creating a routine as a teenager. Because most of the routines that I've got were from people who are not students and would not go to school for 8 hours of their day and have to sleep another 8 hours and do work for some 4 hours or 6 hours, I don't know. But I became original in my routine. So the things that I've discovered are the chapters in this video that we will talk about. Chapter first, you have to prioritize different tasks. Meaning that when you have to prioritize different tasks, it's about having different priorities. When you have different types of things that you value every single day when it comes to routine, it means that you have to draw a box. I want you to draw 4 boxes and write on top of them urgent and not urgent, important and not important. When I'm talking about not important, I'm talking about something that you are not really required to do, not a need, but rather a want. And when I'm saying not urgent, it's not something that you have to do consistently or every single day. Urgent is something that you have to do consistently and something that you need to do. Important is a need and not a want. It is a need that you have to do every single time or when you find the right time to do. In the urgent box, of course, as teenagers, it's always studying, doing your homeworks and all of that. You have to fill down your boxes. You have to fill up your boxes depending on what is valuable to you, because we have different things and different schedules that are valuable to us. Once you come to prioritizing your tasks, it also means that you have to write down your goals. Write down short-term goals and long-term goals. Goals that you want to complete within 3 months and goals that you probably want to complete within a week or a month. For example, let's say the goal that you want to complete within 3 months is staying consistent in your routine or having an academic comeback. On the things that maybe they're short-term goals, it could be learning new study methods. Like over the week, you want to research how to study efficiently and effectively. Maybe it could be learning how to cook a certain dish. Certain things, it could be different. But always make sure that your long-term goals shouldn't be as long, because here we are talking about something that you want to include in your routine. Once you learn to prioritize your tasks, it also means that you have to write different sections of your goals, short-term and long-term. Well, let's say it's academic, short-term and long-term, social, short-term and long-term, personal, short-term and long-term. When it comes to academic, probably increasing in maths from 70% to 80%. It could be finding a study group to study with. It could be making a new study group for me to be able to practice Feynman technique on people. When it comes to social, it could be making space for leisures, like going outside and talking to actual people. When it comes to personal, it could be self-care rituals, it could be growing with God, it could be like learning to read the word every single day and stuff like that. Chapter number 2, creating a weekly schedule. Once you have prioritized every single goal that you have and written it down, categorized it, and you have sorted that part, you can now come to creating a weekly schedule. Talking from my point of view, it's not simple to stay consistent on a weekly schedule because number one, I've been getting so many changes in life, whether it comes to my parents wanting me probably to go there, or my transport coming earlier or later, fetching me later, and all of those things. So what instead I do is I create a specific time for me to wake up and a specific time for me to go to sleep. Well, both of them may seem a bit hard because of studying, but I say I should at least practice this 5 times a week. If not every day, maybe 4 times or 3 times a week. That way, bit by bit, I can get used to waking up at a certain time and sleeping at a certain time. When you create a weekly schedule, you have to just write down the tasks that you have to do every single day. Let's say for the week, I want to have read 30 pages a day, and you can divide it equally throughout 7 days. And maybe you can say for the week, I want to have did Pilates like for 5 days, like have exercised, moved my body, went out for a jog, went outside, or just some things that you have to practice daily. Some things you have to do them 3 times a week, some things 2 times a week, some things once. You just divide it according to your priorities. For me, I divided my reading into every single day. I read a book every single day, 5 to 10 pages, it depends. Every single day, I hope for myself to wake up early and to sleep early or sleep on time. Every single day or every single 5 days, I hope for myself to have studied, to at least have learned something new or refreshed my memory from something that when the teacher taught, I did not understand. Once you create a weekly schedule, life just becomes so much easier. Well, I know it's hard to write it down, so this is how we're going to do it. There is an app called the Me Plus app. I use that app to actually categorize every single thing, whether it comes to my morning routine, night routine, school life, content life, every single thing. It has different sections you will see. The Me Plus app actually works in a very great way because number one, it actually categorizes your things when it comes to morning routine, content life, school life, whatever you may name it, your priorities may be. It also just writes down all your lists like that, and you can just make them your own personal feature. You can make them however way you want. You can change the icon. It reminds you every single time at an appointed time that you should do a specific activity. What it also does is actually it gives you exercises, it gives you habits that you can implement in your life to make it much more productive, efficient, and better. In doing so, creating a weekly schedule, you have to do and set realistic goals, which leads us to chapter number 3. Setting realistic goals means that you're not going to have crazy high expectations of yourself. Be patient with yourself. You are in this version that you are in for the first time. Life is about learning and failing and learning again. You have to be patient. Some days you're not going to be able to do it consistently. Some days you're going to be 100% and do it. Some days you're just going to do like 3 activities of them. Some days you're not even going to do none. You're just going to be rushing all over your day. But hey, guess what? We all have been there. If you want to stay consistent in something, it means that you have to learn to practice patience. Patience is the key to every single thing. It's about learning to be patient with others, tolerant of how situations come, and being patient with yourself. You have to sometimes forgive yourself if you do not stay consistent in your routine. By setting realistic goals, I mean at least not you've been waking up at 6 a.m. and you've been getting late. So you want to practice waking up at 5 a.m. What I advise you to do is to wake up 30 minutes before, which is 5:30 a.m. And do that for at least 2 weeks and see if you get used to it. You can now reduce your time by another 30 minutes. Do it for 2 weeks, and if you see that you're used to it, now you can start implementing the daily routines. Let's say you want to start journaling. Wake up early and journal only for a day. Practice that for 2 weeks and see if you get used to it. After that, you have gotten used to it. Implement another one and do that for 2 weeks, so forth and so on with every single goal that you have set for yourself. In your weekly routine, I want you to include leisures. and breaks, please. Which leads us to chapter number 3, including leisures and breaks in your routine. We are no machine, and we are not AI. We are not robots. We will not be able to do everything like doing it aggressively. So we have to learn to take time for ourselves, to take breaks in between, to include times where at least we do not touch a book, we do not read, we do not study, time where we just breathe, drink water, stay at the sun, sit outside and cool down. Life is not a race, as much as I always say it. It's not a race, it's rather a marathon that you run by yourself. So you have to take it slow, take it easy, and include some leisure time. When I say including breaks and leisure times, it could be winding times. Let's say after you have studied, a reward for yourself could be just sitting in bed and doing nothing, just being a potato. Or it could be watching your favorite comfort series. Or it could be reading a favorite book. Do something that pleases you, something that will release endorphins, something that will release dopamine, something that will make you happy, something that will release adrenaline. Every single hormone that makes you happy, release it with that time. What I love to do in my leisure times most of the time is that I would just write down poems. Well, I love poems with all my heart. So what I do is I literally just take 1 hour of my whole entire day and say, no homework, no person talking to me, just me, myself, and my thoughts. And I just write down whatever that I'm thinking, whatever poem that comes to my head. And, listening to some chill music, spending time alone. It's very important because you also get to reconnect with yourself and discover more that you didn't know. Include healthy habits, which is chapter number 5. Healthy habits. Healthy habits could be exercising. Healthy habits could be eating better. Healthy habits could be drinking water, you name it, as long as it is healthy. When I talk about healthy habits, we mix up things. Sometimes we get to be so anxious about the things that we eat, especially us as teenagers. I know. We want our bodies to be a certain way. But let's remember that we are evolving and we are changing and we will never stay the same. What I mean by this is that we are in puberty. Puberty is a stage whereby our body evolves, our hormones rise higher than usual, and everything just feels different. You feel every single emotion in a certain way. Anxiety just takes over, but hey, we do not have that, okay? Here, we will not be claiming ourselves to have anxiety. We are good and we are relaxed. So, including healthy habits could be eating properly. When I say eat properly, do not be anxious of what you eat. Me, I do not bring anything to the table but my talking mouth. Here at home, the only person who provides are my parents and my family. So if I'm going to be talking about what I eat, do I have money? No. So what I'm gonna try to tell you is that your body will not really change when you eat certain food. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you also have to be cautious of the things that you eat. You can eat anything that you want. Eat as much as you want. Because at the end of the day, you are having this life once. And also, but I want you to drink plenty of water. Like, you don't have to buy water. It's given here at home. So drink a lot of water because number one, not only will it hydrate your brain, but it also increase your happy feelings. Number two, it will also make you feel much more active, clear your skin, clear your eyes, make you feel better. Water is a medicine that you need. Healthy habits also include like moving your body every 4 times a week. When I move my body, at first I wanted to move it with a goal to change how I look physically. But now as I've been learning about it, I realized that it's not only about changing how you look physically, but also about training your brain to be disciplined. And it also makes you feel good and you're chasing after real happy hormones. Not the ones that you get on social media or from people, but rather from internally. It also helps your blood flow to be much more effective and better. Healthy habits could be physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. You just have to categorize them in your own preference and life will just be great. Evaluate and adjust. Well, after creating a weekly schedule or a schedule for yourself and a routine, you have to evaluate it and adjust it. Well, you have to reflect, let's say every single week, reflect at the things that you've done, the things you cannot do, and maybe you have some adjustments on your morning routine, adjustments on night routine, this, that, you want to fix that, you want to do that. Okay, for this week, I think I'll wake up at this time. Play around your routine as much as you want, because at the end of the day, it's yours and yours alone. Adjust it as much as you can by looking at whether it is benefiting you and whether it's not, and whether is it important and whether it's not. The things also, if you want to add more, but also remember, please do not make your schedule big, because it's gonna make you overwhelmed in the morning and you're gonna be like, I have a long day ahead. So just make it fun and easy to be around. Well, that's the end from me, guys. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back with another banger again. Love y'all. XOXO. Bye.